It's Madden NFL 24, and it's presented by EA Sports. It's the Birds and the Niners under the lights on Sunday night.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Before kickoff, Charles, quickly, your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I could give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Santa Clara. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And leading them out, someone who took the league by storm last year is the most famous Mr. Irrelevant ever. From Iowa State, it's Brock Purdy.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 2. Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. They'll find Ayuk open right side. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Fights through him. Connects with Kittle underneath. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Purdy off the play fake. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Purdy's throw taken in by Samuel. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 37. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. Here's 2nd and 10. Now a give, right side McCaffrey. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the 49ers first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing here, Purdy. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter.
We'll talk about a rhythm breaker right there. They've been moving the ball well. Driving started beautifully. That one's going to hurt.
Here is 3rd and quite a ways. Now Purdy. And that is incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Britton Covey deep for Philadelphia. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The 2nd-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Hurts. Over the middle, complete. That's Smith. And Devontae going to pick up the Eagles' first down as he's up to the 24. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Hurts throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, you know they had a third down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. That one complete down the field to Smith. Touchdown, Philadelphia! Devontae Smith, 51 yards. And the Eagles will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was finished off by a touchdown from Devontae Smith. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw, Purdy. Got a man, that's Ayuk. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Purdy to throw it on first down. Again to the big tight end, George Kittle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So from inside the 20, here's first and 10 at the 18. Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. This a 2nd and 8. As they've got it as we resume action. Second down and right back to McCaffrey. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 48 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now...
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Christian McCaffrey punching it in from a yard away. And the Niners are an extra point away from drawing level. So he had the nice run to get him down there, was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Moody good with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
They run with Barkley on first down, and he gets about 5 out of it.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. He delivers another to Goddard, complete. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
Throwing is Hurts. This will be caught by Brown. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 43. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 43. Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. No gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now a 2nd and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. It's Barkley once again bringing in the catch. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And 3rd and 8 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And he lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Had some good yardage there, too, before he fumbled that football, Charles.
Yeah, just think about it this way. Running backs, as a general rule, they kind of know when the end of a run is near, and you notice how they cover up, right? They protect the football. Sometimes quarterbacks forget that out in the open field. After a while, you start to wonder, does the running back coach visit the quarterback coach and say, hey, I can help you with this. We can protect this and make sure we keep the ball.
Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. He'll start by handing this off to McCaffrey. He'll take this up just shy of the 40. Excellent display of footwork on that run. 56 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 3. They go play action here. Purdy. This will be caught. It's Samuel. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Purdy will set up to throw it here. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back, who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
2nd and 10. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Early down stuffs to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So Purdy off and Moody on for the 49er field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is indeed good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And this taken in at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football is certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it, and if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 24. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Hurts finding Smith for the Philly first.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So the completion good for 7 there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Here's 2nd and 3. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Two minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
They'll run with Barkley. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They'll set up a throw. Forced out to his left. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
Quick slant to Brown. And the Eagles are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. He'll drop to throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown.
Let's roll.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Christian McCaffrey and his 49er teammates back onto the field. They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Purdy now to throw. Connects with Kittle underneath. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Me and Let's do our thing. Let's do our thing.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Here's Purdy. They'll find Ayuk open right side. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. Purdy. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Here's Mitch Wishnowski now on to punt. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports halftime report. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
Hurts throw here taken in by Parker. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Now Hurts on the option right. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Hurts. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down.
Boy, that one was well read defensively, and this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive, because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense him saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Throwing here, Purdy. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Purdy from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. They'll start out here with the option left. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
2nd down and 6 now. Hurts. He's got Smith here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a 1st down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route, and they just executed that one pretty well.
On 1st down, Hurts. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Second down and a little more than a yard here. They'll give it to Barkley off the option play. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 52 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
He certainly did his best to find something on that run, but there just wasn't enough time to make it happen. Nice effort there, avoiding the sack and getting back to the line of scrimmage. That one certainly could have ended up worse.
Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. This one goes out wide for Barkley. 2 yards on the pickup there. And 3rd and 8 now.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Oh, he shifts past him, and he's going to get this inside the 30. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
He really looked comfortable there, scanning the situation, analyzing things, feeling the pressure, and then stepping up right through the middle and sprinting for a first down.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. Open receiver here, complete. It's Parker. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Another run with McCaffrey on second down. He'll get a yard. That's all as they get him down at the 28. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Purdy now on 3rd and goal. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. Ball on the 39. Here's the 2nd and 8. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. That's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 83 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain. 2nd down.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
2nd down and 8. Now this time they'll throw it. Here's Purdy. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Jalen Carter able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Well, obviously the pass rush gets the glory and the statistics on this play, but the coverage, they deserve a ton of credit too. Denied open windows, erased the quarterback's targets one by one. Everywhere he looked, someone was covered. Only a matter of time before someone got there to bring him down.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
McCaffrey following the penalty. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Purdy's throw taken in by Samuel. And they showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now Purdy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the 49ers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Niners are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here, and we're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Now this one setting up for a great finish, all tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They begin with a run by Barkley. And some room to maneuver. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big pickup of 38. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. Running right through him. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They've moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
A beautiful fake. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Jalen Hurts. A 23-yard run. And the Eagles answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch, counter punch all throughout, and that touchdown breaks our tie here in the 4th quarter.
You're making me want to get back in the gym and start training again. You talk about those punches and counter punches. I also think this is where you and I start thinking to ourselves, who's going to make the play to change that, right? Who's going to get out of this little cycle that they're in right now and make a play and give their team a firm advantage?
Elliott good on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Connects with Kittle underneath. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
2nd and 5. Purdy will set up to throw it here. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
The Niners on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Purdy looking to throw. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back, because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking it about the 36. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Throwing is Hurts. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Barkley is into the end zone for an Eagle touchdown.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the 49ers settling in for their next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that will bring up 3rd and 1.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
On 3rd down, it's Purdy. And this is going to be incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Purdy sets up to throw again. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Back to throw, Purdy. That's Samuel, caught left side. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. Boy, here's a big one. You can just feel it. This is 3rd down now. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a 49ers first down. They needed 4. He doubled down. He wound up getting 8.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Purdy to throw. And he will find his man, Samuel. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10. Here's Purdy to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. They come up now on 2nd and 2. Throwing, Purdy. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Purdy to throw. That's going to be caught by Samuel. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Here's 2nd down. Here's Purdy. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. To throw is Purdy. And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
They can't beat us straight up.
So with under 30 seconds to play, this is the game right here. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Hurts down to one knee, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. A fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us